Girls Rock London is a charity that seeks to address the gender imbalance in the music industry, but more importantly than that, it provides a creative, safe, joyful, supportive environment for girls, women, trans, non-binary folk to get together and make music and express themselves. This is a really exciting time for Girls Rock London because we released our first ever album featuring brand new music written by an incredible group of early stage musicians, and we are really proud of it.
Could you tell me about the gender imbalance within music? I mean, what are some of the challenges that women, trans and non-binary musicians face within the music industry?
I think the music industry still suffers from a lot of inequality, and it's been talked about, and we know there are loads of things out there trying to change this. There are lots of initiatives, for example, the festival lineup trying to become more 50-50. There's some great work out there that's happening. We still have a problem though, and I think a lot of women and marginalised genders face various levels of discrimination in the music industry. So for example, I think one really big one that we might talk about in our work is stereotyping. Perhaps you've made it through and you've been signed as a woman to a record label, but there might still be quite a lot of expectations or pressure on you on how you take up your space. There might be quite a lot of tokenism, I suppose, so there might be certain sort of allotted spaces for marginalised or minoritised identities to exist within a structure.
Also, I think what was highlighted that recently has been the Brit Awards, which, although we saw the categories becoming gender neutral, there was an obvious exclusion of women, particularly from the Artist of the Year category. Why do you think, despite these kind of interventions, that these institutions still lack diversity within gender identity?
I think it's really good to look at why we're still facing this, because there has been a lot of talk about it and a lot of hype. I think still it's about who's in positions of power making these choices, and it feels tokenistic until people are represented at all levels of that decision-making process, basically.
In relation to Girls Rock London, can you tell me about your charity and how would you describe the aims perhaps in dispelling this tokenism?
First of all, we want to demystify music making. A lot of people think, oh no, that's not for me, or I couldn't play the drums. Maybe I could sing in the band, but I'm not going to be a drummer. Or the idea of music production is a bit daunting to certain people. So the idea first and foremost is that we demystify music making and we say, no, you give it a try, you have a go. Within that, there are various things like trying to be anti-perfectionist. I think a lot of girls are socialised to think that they have to be perfect and neat and good and act in a certain way, and music can be messy and bold and brave and rageful and sad and ugly, and I think it's really, really, really important that we have a space to try that out. We also think a lot about role modelling, so in our music camps every position is occupied by a woman, a trans person, non-binary person, a person of marginalised gender, and the idea behind that is that the young people can look and see, oh look, yeah, so the person who just set up all the sound equipment in my room, cool, I could do that one day. So it's that idea of role modelling as well.
So you have a program, a 6-month program to teach people these skills. Could you talk me through the 6-month program and then how that leads to releasing this album that's happened, that you've released recently, and also the showcase that you had across the weekend?
This is the first time we've ever done a 6-month program, and we were working this time with adults. A lot of the time we do 6 days, and we do that with young people, and we meet in the summer holidays of school, and we get our young people together and we have 6 days together. We put on a gig, everyone writes a tune in a band. This time we thought, okay, what happens if we turn our attention to adults, perhaps adults who need a bit of support, they're already making music, they might be in a DIY scene, they might have only been playing for a few months, they might have been playing for years, but they just need a few steps forward to think about their own musical independence and confidence. What happens if we give them 6 months, and at the end of that 6 months they will have written and recorded a track on an album and then performed it live? And that is what we've done. We had the live album launch, we had an amazing crew come down, an amazing audience, and I am so proud of all the artists. At Girls Rock London we begin our programmes by supporting people to collaborate and get into groups and put them into bands and give them that space to collaborate with each other.
So for musicians that are really interested in your project, how can they join, or how can they sign up to be part of this special programme?
So Girls Rock London is always welcoming of folks who want to come and join us. People can join to volunteer with us at any point. So if you are a musician, or in fact, you don't have to even be a musician to lend your support to us. We've got different people from all sort of different spaces that support our programmes in different ways. If you want to sign up to take part in one of our programmes, then you can absolutely do it. Just have a look at our website. If you feel like this sort of speaks to you, then there is a space for you in our community.